Good morning, everyone. It's Erin from the Building Brevard Network and WSI Digital Solutions Group, and I am joined by Army Miller today of Armstrong's Restoration. Army is the territory manager for Armstrong's Restoration, and here they really help the local community recover from water, mold, wind, and storm damage as professionally and efficiently as possible. So Army, thank you so much for being on the show today. We're super excited to have you here. And before we get into the questions, go ahead and give us a little bit more about you and how you got to Armstrong's.
All right, well, like Erin said, I'm the territory manager for Armstrong's Restoration and Construction, and we are your one-stop shop basically for any of your mold, fire, wind damage, storm damage, restoration. We also do the full build-out and construction in the end. I was actually born here in the Canaveral Hospital, so I've lived in Cocoa Beach most of my life. I remember when Ron John's was like a tiny little, warehouse type store, and bought my first skateboard there.
Cool.
Surfed here most of my life. Now, of course, I have kids. I don't surf much anymore. But spent my whole time here. And the nice part is the owners of Armstrong's Restoration were also born here. Went to Gainesville for college. I went to Florida State, so we had a little bit of
rivalry, house divided.
In-house banter. But I will say it's nice to be, part of the community that we grew up in and we were born in. I lived in Orlando for a while, so I moved away, but then came back and joined Armstrong's Restoration. And now that we've expanded into a much larger building, got a lot going on. A lot of community stuff, but glad to be home. My parents are here. My father's buried here, unfortunately, but it's nice. Other families in Orlando, so everybody's kind of close. And same thing with the owners, Adam and Phil. Their whole family is here, so we're very much a family-owned and operated company.
Awesome. And you said a lot about community, and just by sitting here talking to Army in our pre-show meeting, he was just rattling these things off that they do in the community. So give us some idea of some involvement you have. You said you're really involved with the Brevard City Schools. Talk us through kind of what your community involvement looks like.
So Brevard County Schools, we're obviously huge with that. All of us here have children, and our children are in and out of here all the time, and we're huge with the local schools, and we really wanted to be part of that, not only part of the community, but part of helping the children. So we've done some team building exercises where we're going to go out to the local schools and make sure that we're updating their playgrounds or painting the walls for them. We just recently donated, they have a therapy room at the Imagine West Melbourne location, their school. A therapy room, which is a great idea, and they needed rugs or carpet for the kids to sit down on and be comfortable, kick off their shoes, and have a quote-unquote therapy. So we donated carpet to them, so they just sent us a thank you where they all put it over their faces, which was kind of cute. You can see it on our Facebook page. Also now I've joined PIE, which is People in Education, I believe is what it stands for. So I'm going to the PIE meetings, and that's basically all of the Brevard County schools together and anybody that is active in helping the schools. So Deborah Foley with Brevard County Schools signed me up for that, and I'm going to the meeting on the 10th, and it's nice to be part of that, as well as our facility has a great training room that we happen to be in right now with state-of-the-art projectors and the whole 9 yards. So we offer that to anybody in the community to use at any time. We used it for self-defense and tactic training with Just Tactics, who you'll find on Facebook also. It's a local company. We've also rented it out for things like on the 27th, we're having a baby shower here.
That's amazing.
Just because somebody needed a large space for 40 or 50 people, so we're happy to donate that. As well as the Palm Bay Chamber and the Cocoa Beach Chamber we're huge in. Well, the Palm Bay Chamber just had their board meeting and their what they call their retreat here.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and we were part of that. We donated to the food, and they actually spent the whole day here. It was really nice. Nancy Pelletone from the Palm Bay Chamber and the rest of them, Deborah Foley's on that team, were here. So it was really nice to give our room to the community, to give our place to the community. And we really have an open door policy. You can stop by anytime. We constantly do these giveaways every month. And the funny part is we try to come up with something cool and cute, so it's kind of fun. And we put it all on Facebook, and we encourage people to comment and share. And last month, we wanted to do the Armstrong Strong, because our logo was everybody flexing. Yeah. So we thought that would be funny. Well, we had a family. Now I'm going to mess up the last name, but I think they were the Boosmans or Bossmans. But the the mom had actually like broken her ankle or her leg, so she did Armstrong like in bed.
Oh my goodness.
Then they did this funny thing with all the kids, and then the husband came out like at night while the sign was lit up and did it beside and so the whole family was in it, and you know they kept posting pictures after pictures for like the 10 days that we did it, and it was just a blast to see. And that's the kind of stuff we want. We want to be part of the community, you know. Although we're part of a major organization and a membership to what's DKI, which we can get into later. So we were dispatched to South Carolina as well, but this is home, and we have plenty of hurricanes. We have plenty of disasters. Today where it's raining constantly in these small areas, we have flooding all the time. Water heaters bust, and we're there to help out the community. We're 24 hours. We're an emergency response team. We have somebody that literally answers the phone at 3 a.m. when your water heater explodes and you're wondering why there's steam in your house. And it's one of those things that we want to get you back up and running, better or exactly as you were before there was a loss or disaster. So we try to do as much as we can to make that happen quickly for the community as well as outside of the community.
Sure. And you were saying kind of like from small water heaters to big hurricane restoration, like you guys can pretty much essentially do anything in between and help people get their lifestyles back. So nothing is essentially too small for what you for Armstrongs to go in and help out a family to recover.
No, not at all. We actually had a family that we did some restoration for in the past that actually had some flood damage. They wanted to do a new back porch and a new entry and exit way with some French doors and stuff like that. So that's another one of our projects. It's really just kind of a remodel project.
Sure.
And we're not quote unquote a remodeling company, but it is part of what we do.
Right.
So, I have a full design team, we have a full estimating team, we have a full, plumbing team and drywall guys and painters and a framer that is amazing. I mean, the guy is like Speedy Gonzalez with it. It's amazing. And they just, people utilize us. It seems like once, we've come in to recover them and they found out about us, then, they're part of the family. And that's what we like. So they continue to do things, kitchen remodels. We did a full gut and remodel for, one of the family members the other day.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, we're a restoration company that does construction and remodeling. But it's nice to have those jobs also.
It
changes it up.
It's nice to also kind of be able to keep everything in-house, right?
Exactly.
So you don't have to use a lot of subcontractors. You can get the job done. You guys monitor the process. It has the Armstrong's construction restoration stamp on it, so you know that the quality is going to be a lot higher just because everything is monitored in-house, which I think is just phenomenal. So you said you guys had gone up to South Carolina, obviously Hurricane Florence having severe impact even now. And it's all through something that you mentioned before, DKI. So give us a little bit of insight of the power of DKI and why you guys are part of that family.
Right. So, like I said, Armstrong's is not a franchise.
Right.
So we are, a small local business. And what DKI allows us to do is to be elected as a member for DKI. You can't just join it. You can't just pay a fee and be part of DKI. You actually have to be invited. You have to be in business for 5 years. You have to have a stellar business record to even be part of their DKI team. And it's a membership. It's a lot like, I mentioned to you, it's a lot like a fireman's brotherhood.
The IAF or whatever, the governing body.
Exactly. And so DKI, Disaster Cleanup International, is a national company that allows Armstrongs and Complete DKI and Coastal to all be brotherhoods. I mean, I talk to those guys, I wouldn't say a lot, but I talk to them on a bi-monthly basis to see what they're doing as far as, for the community and things that they're doing differently. And as well as when we were, dispatched to South Carolina for Florence, we got to see all those guys. We got to see Hugh and everybody that runs Complete, who's out of Tallahassee. And we all came together, and it was literally like we were best friends from high school again. We all just came together to really help out the local, South and North Carolina communities for Florence. And that's the nice part about DKI. Yeah. It's a membership, and it's really more of a brotherhood. So it's a little bit different than like what the Surf Pros or some of the other competition that we have, for lack of better terms. They have to use their own sources in those areas, and they don't dispatch. Well, we get first right of refusal to go to South Carolina, and of course we were like, lack of, I don't want to say chasing, but we wanted to be part of it. We wanted to help out. We consider ourselves first responders. We were there, removing waters for all the floods and doing some large commercial jobs to get everything back up and running, get people their food and supplies that they needed. And
it's amazing.
That's part of it.
And it's like, when you get to that point, it's not even about competition or business. It's just about helping, and I love that. That's what it's all about, right? Like if we can leverage our businesses to actually really
Speaking
help.
of rain,
To really help our businesses grow and stay.
see if we can turn on the,
Yeah.
the
There we
automatic
go.
lights. There we go.
They're also very energy efficient, so they have the automatic sensor lights. But we've been moving so much, I'm surprised that they went off. But yeah, it's just amazing that we can leverage our businesses to really give back to a community in a bigger way. And up there, I mean, that's insanely huge. That's what they need. They really need our help. So I love that. We talked a little bit about kind of the services you provide, from small water leaks to major storm damage, and it's not just residential. You do commercial as well. So walk us through like the worst case scenario or the worst situation you guys have seen, and kind of how you've gone from soup to nuts and helping that company or family get back to their normal way of life.
Usually when it's an emergency, it involves a business. It involves a business that has made plans and they now have had a flood or a major disaster. Houston, of course, comes to mind.
Sure.
Because, when Harvey came through and damaged Houston. Houston really is a large community that kind of leans on everybody's shoulders.
Yeah.
So they had a huge event at a rodeo, which is kind of funny,
Okay.
that they needed to get up and running. And
Sure.
when we came in there was a lot of flooding. There was a lot of sewage that had been accidentally or had been pumped back in. So it was just a nasty issue. And
Sure.
I mean, water up to our hips and our waists when we went in there. And unfortunately, it needed to be evacuated and all of that cleaned up within 2 weeks. So a timeline of something as large as like a massive rodeo and
Sure.
an auditorium, we did that, and actually we opened it up a day early for them.
That's
So they
fantastic.
actually were able to get vendors in and reopen, and then they turned it into a large facility kind of as a shelter after that.
Yeah.
And it worked out really, really well. So commercial properties are usually the big ones.
Right.
Residential, people, we all have water heaters in our homes,
Yeah.
hopefully. We all have toilets in our homes. I can't say all of us because there are some that don't. And if that goes away, it's almost like, walking out of your home in the middle of the day without any clothes on. You really don't know what to do.
Right.
So we, try to get you back and up and running as soon as possible. I mean, we have replaced a broken water heater and removed all of the flood waters and flood damage within hours. I mean, within 3 hours for people. So from the time they reached and called us. So really, we tried to do everything from the tiniest little water leak, a little spray or something that you have that has saturated a wall, to the major loss. I mean, having to redo the entire roof after a hurricane, or walls have come down or something. And we actually purchased this building and moved in here in July. And the main reason was to make this a sanctuary. We're a restoration company that is out there helping everybody. But not only did we want to help everybody, we wanted to help our community and our employees. So, we built a state-of-the-art facility that has a full kitchen, and it has a 110,000 watt generator. And we have our own Wi-Fi tower and the whole 9 yards. So this can be a shelter during a major catastrophe, which cross our fingers we don't have anymore. But so all of that just coincides with what we do. Not only helping people, but trying to keep the morale up during some sort of a damage.
And this facility is amazing. I was fortunate enough to get a tour of it, and it's just gorgeous. And I'm like stealing ideas for my house because they've just done such a cool job with it. And we talked a lot about the water side. So obviously, anywhere in Florida, you're going to find mold, because we are like the breeding grounds for mold. So that's also something that you guys can help businesses and families with as well.
Oh, most definitely. We do everything from air testing to the full mold recovery and containment and build outs and mold removal. Unfortunately, mold is a thing that we have a lot of in Florida, like you said, and so it's in our air. It's everywhere. But if we can limit or bring down the amount of growth that is in a business or a home to help everybody's health, that's what we strive for. So everything from the original air test to find out how bad it is and see where we can contain it. And then part of that, mitigation and remediation is to bring those levels down where, we can do small areas of repair or rebuilding to not have to do a huge job, where it doesn't have to be the whole building. It can just be a small room that was contaminated, and we clean that up and then, wipe down and antimicrobial everything else to make it, get you back up and running.
And that's great, because anytime that there's mold, there's you said respiratory issues, allergies are heightened, obviously, so it's really important. And sometimes people don't even know they have.
No, I was just going to say,
right?
some people will be like, gosh, I have a headache, and they're like rubbing their temples all day long, and they don't realize that their place of business or their home is just, high levels of mold that's in the air. And as soon as the AC kicks on, it's a fan, it's circulating all around. So if you have those indicators, feel free to call us. We would love to come out and do an air test. That would be, the beginning of it. Send a team out that can evaluate that to find out if there are issues or there is anything, that potentially could be harmful for your health.
Well, I just love everything about this meeting. I love that you guys are local owned. I am a UCF Knight, so we're gonna have some fighting words after this. Don't worry. Community involvement, obviously, really important for you guys too. You're having some specific events that are coming up that are, Halloween, Christmas. Obviously, this is a big time to give back. So, if you want to give us some insight into those events, that'd be great.
Yeah, the 27th of October. That's an upcoming one. We're doing a trunk or treat here, so we're gonna have some fun things going on. Snow cones for the kids, a train ride or quote unquote hay ride for the kids. We'll have some local, enforcement from I haven't confirmed yet, so I have to say it easily.
Okay, I get it.
Local enforcement, hopefully the fire department, hopefully the local PD will be out here, for a little bit of support. And then, we want anybody that feels like they want a safe environment to be able to do their trick-or-treating can come out. Tons of candy, obviously, and our facility's completely open for fun. And I think our lights are going again, but that's okay. We'll hang out in the dark.
Yeah. We're getting great light from outside, so it's fine.
So we have that on the 27th, then we're going to do like a large bake sale and Christmas giveaway. I say bake sale, but it's really just everybody here loves to cook.
Sure.
So we're going to do our own cooking here, and then we'll be able to give all of that away.
Are you going to do it in the full kitchen? Or
I think we'll do it here, just film it, we'll go live. So if you
Yeah.
haven't liked Armstrong's Restoration on Facebook, you're going to want to do that. We do a lot of funny things. We've also done a Family Friends Day, which was a blast. We had we had a water slide, we had a bounce house, we had a maze, we had a train, face painters, we had games, adult games as well as kid games. We had outside bowling, of course, cornhole.
Sure, always good.
We didn't serve drinks, but we opened it up to anybody to BYOB if you wanted. And it was really just to open our doors and say hi to everybody. Like I said, the Palm Bay Chamber and Cocoa Beach Chamber are huge in them, and they're huge supporters of us. So we've had some events that involve them here as well, which have been really nice. Our ribbon cutting and open house was great. Turnout, the mayor came and the whole 9 yards with the Malabar Fire Department. So it was nice to have everybody. And like I said, open door policy. Like us on Armstrong's Restoration and follow us as well, because I mentioned to you just briefly that we do a drawing every single month where we give away a gift card locally. And we got lights again. We give away a gift card. It was $150. Oh, we already went over this, didn't we? Yeah, Armstrong Strong. But keep that. We're going to have another funny one. Of course, Christmas is going to be a big one. We're going to have another one, for dress up or something like that. I don't know, for October. So, stay tuned for that.
Surfing Santas, have costume contests.
Exactly.
So we've obviously talked about how much Armstrong's Restoration is involved in the community, but I also want to give some time for Army to talk about how the community is giving back to him. So he's got some awards here that he wants to display.
It was just kind of neat recently, and we do have a little bit of this that happens, on a regular basis. But Hometown News, we were recently the best restoration company, voted best restoration company and best mold removal company in our area, and that just reconfirms what we're trying to do. And it's nice that Hometown News recognized us, and Ken there was great to let me know kind of out of the blue. I have to be honest, I'm not a Hometown News reader. But it was nice that the readers out there did recognize us, and took the time to tell us as well as the community that we really are out there doing a good job. So
and it's not an easy thing to vote for. You have to put it in and stuff. So it speaks volumes about what you guys have done and kind of the impact you've had. So congratulations on that.
Great, thank you.
Obviously, their Facebook page, we've talked about that a lot. They're doing an awesome job with everything, and it's super fun and quirky. But if people want to get in touch with you, and if they have any issues or any questions, what's the best way for them to do that?
The website is always something that people say go right to our website, but really we're a little old-fashioned. We enjoy you calling us.
Yeah.
So feel free to call us at 321-729-8049. Feel free. It connects to a cell phone if somebody's not in the office. So there's always somebody there on the other line. Like I said, 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 8 at night while we're all putting our kids to bed. Feel free to give us a call because, we're there for you. Really, the community is our family as well.
Well, awesome. Well, Army, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Oh, it's
We
my
really
pleasure.
appreciate
Thanks for
it.
coming out.
I'm going to hang out here because their building is so cool, and this office area really, or this conference room, if you ever need to use it, like you said, that they open it up for people, so it's just super great.
Come on by and see it,
Yeah,
everybody.
it's great.
Come hang out.
Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. We hope you have a good Friday.
Thank you for your time.
Bye.